All right, there we go. Awesome. All right, we're live. So welcome back to Dapp University. So today we got a lot to talk about. It was an absolutely crazy weekend for cryptocurrency, for the Ethereum space. Pretty much right after we left this stream on Friday, things started to take off. We saw a bunch of new NFT projects, go bonkers. We saw a lot of crazy cryptocurrency price action over the weekend. We found out who bought the $70 million Beeple collection, all that kind of stuff. Okay, so there's a lot to talk about. I'm super excited to jump into this. If you're new around here, I'm Gregory, and on this channel, I turn you into a blockchain master. So if that's something that you're interested in, then smash that like button down below. Subscribe to this channel. Turn on notifications because we do these live streams every weekday, Monday through Friday, 9:30 a.m. Central Time. So the time has actually changed because we had the time change over the weekend if you're in America. So hopefully everybody's catching the new time here. But anyways, if you want to become a blockchain master step by step, start to finish, then head on over to dappuniversity.com/bootcamp to get started today. All right, so we got people jumping in the chat here. We've got Eugen, Lars, Man on a Mission, Nardia, Natas, Prince, Isaac, Anas, Mike. Welcome. So let's jump into the first thing that I'm sure is on most people's minds, which is like, what's going on with the crypto markets? So I'll pull that up on my screen here. Let's see here. So you can see I'm getting VRBO ads up here for a summer trip. You can tell where my mind's starting to go. Getting a little tired. It's been a busy year so far. So let's go ahead and look at the Bitcoin charts. I think it's a pretty good indicator of what's going on with the market. We'll trickle down to the ETH price as well. But yeah, over the weekend, like you can see, we're kind of on this dip right here. We saw a new all-time high in Bitcoin over the weekend. Okay, that kind of corrected pretty fast right here. It's a pretty simple explanation, I think, and it's what's going on with the entire crypto markets. I'm seeing a lot of talks that this is just like a bubble from leverage that just blew up. All right, so why would we think that? So I'll show you. Let me pull up screenshots here. So first of all, it's common for these bubbles to happen over the weekends because you get the retail traders who are in there trading on weekends. Crypto trades 24/7. Most institutional people aren't really trading over the weekends. But you can tell when leverage is a huge factor because the price of using leverage goes up like crazy. And we can also see, like, let me just pull up the screen here. You can also see the total liquidations in the past 24 hours is absolutely crazy. All right, so it's like over $1 billion. Earlier, we had about $750 million liquidated in the side of like 1 hour. So I think that's a big factor about what's going on with this price action that we saw. I think it's going to be very similar to what's been happening with a lot of the other sort of short-term blowups, is that the dips are probably going to get gobbled up. That's my gut feeling on this. I don't see any indication that we're like at the top of a market. I'm not saying we're just going to like blast off to insanely higher price or anything. It's always not financial advice. Not a big trader, not a big TA guy. I just try to look at the big picture of what's going on. What are the explanations for what's going on in the market? That's what I think it is. And I think nothing big picture has changed to make me think that, we're just going to nuke downward or something like that. So it might take us a little while to recover, but that's what I think. We'll check on the ETH price as well. So look at ETH. Same thing, right? We were moving along nicely. We kind of got a little spank of correction that everybody else did. Whenever this leverage kind of unwound. So again, nothing to worry about from my opinion here. Was, like I said, not financial advice, just what I'm thinking about my own holdings and big picture of the markets. So now I want to talk about the NFT craze. I know we keep talking about this channel, but I want to bring this up because a lot's happened since the last stream, and there's a lot of stuff that we can't really ignore, okay? Because honestly, like, NFTs are getting bigger than I expected that they were going to get, okay? I know that like there's this sort of cycle of I expect a lot of this to play out like sort of like a cycle of uh, a succession of hype cycles. Maybe like, DeFi comes in and it's hot and it's going to get really hypey for a while, then it'll die down. The NFTs will come in, they'll get really hypey for a little while, and they'll die down. And then like, Web3 will come in and it'll get really hypey and then it'll die down. I don't mean that they'll like become irrelevant anymore, that any of these things will become irrelevant. It's just they won't get this like super hype phase for very long. But the NFT hype is way bigger than I thought. Okay, so I'll show you how you can actually measure that. So look on Google Trends, and NFT search volume is passing Ethereum. Okay, so Ethereum is the yellow line, NFT is the blue line, and DeFi is the red line. And this is over a 5-year period. Okay, you can see where we are currently. So you can see where Ethereum is relative to its all-time high levels back in the ICO boom of 2017, early 2018. This is basically where the previous all-time highs were. Ethereum has, established new all-time highs in the past, 90 days. Still at a very high levels in terms of search volume, and NFT is now like getting up there with Ethereum in its all-time high territory. Okay, so I think there are a couple reasons for this. I mean, it's an application of blockchain technology that's got mass appeal. Okay, we're seeing NFTs, of course, happen off of the Ethereum platform as well. I'm saying, like we're seeing NBA Top Shots, lots of other projects. The Kings of Leon project that we saw was on a different platform as well. So it's more than just Ethereum in this case, but also it's something that people who don't care about finance can get interested in. Okay. So anyways, it's absolutely huge. So what has happened in the NFT space over the weekend? Well, the first thing is on Friday after the stream, I mean, we're seeing NFTs featured in, let me make sure I get the publication right. Hold on one second. There's a big article. I think it's in Bloomberg. Let me just make sure I pull it up and get it correct. It's Wall Street Journal. Sorry, Wall Street Journal. So we saw NFTs on the front page of the Wall Street Journal. Okay. So this was the Beeple collection I've been talking about. So we saw this. We talked about this on Friday. There was speculation as to who the winner was. We got clarification on that. I'll show that in here in a minute. But this was front page, front and center, Wall Street Journal. Okay. So I think this definitely has something to do with the NFT search volume, but I think it goes beyond that. Okay. So we're seeing lots of mainstream adoption. Let me look at the update on the winner here. Yeah. So the winner was announced here by Christie's. So again, this was an auction at Christie's. Huge mainstream like press for NFTs, for digital art, all this kind of stuff. So Christie's honors to announce that Metakovan, the founder and financier of MetaPurse, the largest NFT fund in the world, was the winning bidder of Beeple's the first 5,000 days for $69.3 million. All right, so you can read the full info there on Christie's if you want to. But yeah, we got clarification on the winner here. It was not Justin Sun, as some people thought, and I think as Bloomberg incorrectly reported on. So yeah, crazy. So that's pretty big. That happened right after our stream on Friday, or at least got clarification on the winner was. The Wall Street Journal story broke up, I believe, after that as well. At least I found out about it after that. We saw two crazy NFT projects kind of gain traction over the weekend. The first one, let's see here. Let me pull it up. So the first one is Mooncats. Okay, so why was this such a big deal? I've actually got a video coming up with this later today, talking about I saw this project as it was kind of unearthed, jumped on it, snagged a couple cats myself. So we saw this sort of trend happen over the weekend where people were starting to remember old NFT projects that were forgotten about from like 2017. And Mooncats was one of them. Mooncats may have been earlier than 2017. I can't remember, to tell you the truth. I think it may have been from 2016. I had to go look that up. I'm not sure 100%. But anyways, it's a pretty interesting game. So basically, you have to find the cats on the moon, okay, and you like mine for them, and then you can like catch a cat and then mint it as an NFT. They're all sold out now, unfortunately, so there's no way to like claim them from the original game. They're basically free. You just had to pay the gas cost to claim them. So you'd like generate a cat here, copy the seed. You actually had to go on Etherscan and interact with the contract directly. There's a bunch of history behind the project to why that's the case. I think it might have been they might have had to stop developing on it. I can't remember. But anyways, so Mooncats blew up because it was a historic NFT project. They're selling on OpenSea now. You can see them here. So you can buy them. I'm not sure I would recommend like FOMOing into Mooncats necessarily. Of course, it's not financial advice. But yeah, Mooncats. Also, Ethereum was another one that people were claiming is actually the original NFT project. So let me see if I can pull it up. So this was, I think it's from 2015. Was for Ethereum. Basically, you buy squares on this like giant piece of land. So I did not get into Ethereum. Of course, there are other ones kind of popping up. There's the Crypto Fighters. So that was actually a project. That was one of the first interviews I did on my YouTube channel in early 2018 was for Crypto Fighters. That was an original NFT project where you can battle fighters together. So you can go check out that. You can go to my YouTube videos and like sort the oldest videos and find that one. So anyways, there was a huge sort of archaeological quest to find these old NFT projects and start buying them up because they have historical significance. So let's look here. But anyways, we're going to see, I think it's hard to say. Like, are we at peak NFT bubble? We might be. Can NFTs get bigger than they are today? Of course, I think they can. I don't know that means that all the NFTs are going to be as valuable as they are today. I think both things can be true. Basically, NFTs can have a ton of long-term potential, and they could be at a super hypey, overvalued bubble that could crash hard like any day. Some people talk about NFTs like the ICO catalyst of 2017. They try to draw comparisons. I don't know if it's a perfect analogy. I think there's some similarities. Like most NFT projects that are on Ethereum, you have to buy them or collect them like with ETH itself. It's pretty common, at least. They just think about that. They talk about, some NFT projects seeming like as overhyped as ICOs were. Actually, let's split up on Google Trends and see how NFTs compared to ICO back in the day. Let's do that. So we're actually seeing NFT like ours already past ICO from the end of the 2017 bubble. So the other thing to think about is the market cap of crypto is larger than it was back then. So is retail buying NFTs going to be enough like pressure on the market? The other thing, they're not buying in size the same way people were investing in ICOs back in the day. I mean, people were raising absolutely ridiculous amounts of money for ICOs. I mean, I know people were selling. I mean, we did just sell a $70 million NFT art collection, so that's, I don't know. We'll wait and see. All right, so we got any questions here in the chat? So it says HODL. Yes, I'm. Oh, what is the CME gap? I don't know what the number of the CME gap is. It's basically it's a discrepancy. So CME stands for Chicago Mercantile Exchange. There's a future price basically, and then over the weekend that price gets out of sync and creates a gap. And there's some superstition that the gaps always get filled. All this kind of stuff hasn't always been true. We'll see. Have I heard of Decentraland? Yeah, I've heard of Decentraland. Of course I have. Why are ETH candles the exact same as BTC on the same chart? Yeah, that's a good question. So let's look at some more interesting stuff. So another thing to think about is this could be a big week for ETH in general. Okay, so we've been talking about layer 2 scaling solutions coming out really soon. We're at the middle of March now, so we're March 15th. They're supposed to be here in March. When I say layer 2, I'm talking mostly about optimism and optimistic rollups. So we're getting to that point where it could be like any day that we see something roll out. If anybody knows an official release date, leave it in the comments down below. If you're watching this after the stream, if you have it in the chat right here, drop it. Drop the comment in the chat so we can all see. So anyways, assuming that Optimism ships on time, it could be here any day now. And we can start seeing projects launch on that any day after that, or maybe even the day of. It'll be interesting to see if there's a sort of a delay time between it shipping and project launching out. I mean, there's basically a near zero cost of porting your apps over to Optimism from everything that I understand. But that doesn't mean that like teams are going to be exercising caution when porting decentralized apps over to Optimism and their smart contracts and all that kind of stuff. So there may be a little bit of a delay. There could be some really important teams who are working directly with them to battle test these solutions before they push it out to production. So maybe we see them come out at the same time. I don't know, to tell you the truth. I don't have a close enough inside pulse with those teams to say for sure. But if in fact things are shipping on time, it could be any day now. And we could see some pretty crazy stuff happen on ETH. Okay, we did see an announcement from Argent. Sorry, my links keep opening up on the wrong screen here. So plans to support layer 2 wallet over the summer. Okay, so this is big. I've talked a lot in this channel about how I think mobile will be big for blockchain. Okay. I can't put my phone on the screen here. Because think about it. Of course, there's a huge incentive for people to learn how to use DeFi because it offers such massive rewards. It's sort of like the rat following the cheese sort of thing. The rat will learn how to get the cheese. So if you tell people you can get like crazy 10x gains in DeFi, or that you can get like insane, APYs with yield farming and stuff like that, they'll learn how to install MetaMask. They'll take on the risk. They'll like sign up for a cryptocurrency exchange account, KYC, send the money to a wallet, figure out how to use Ethereum or Binance Smart Chain or whatever, and go through all those hoops. But that's especially for early adopters. But I think what will help make blockchain mainstream for a lot of people is mobile. Because you can basically have mobile apps that integrate these DeFi protocols into the background that can be non-custodial solutions for wallets. Okay, where basically like you can hold your funds to the app, you could load your credit card into it, buy cryptocurrency instantly, and boom, you're in the DeFi ecosystem. They could abstract away a lot of the gas, all that kind of stuff. So I think mobile's gonna be big. Basically, you can interact with all these DeFi apps on the back end inside their own app because anybody can really write a client for these DeFi projects. For that reason, I think projects like Argent will be big. It's not like a sponsored post or anything. I just saw this on Twitter and thought this was cool. So I think we'll see this happen more where these mobile apps, other exchanges will probably try to implement layer 2 natively so that people don't have to get on and off of layer 2. Because that is one thing about getting onto layer 2 scaling is you have to move onto it. But that problem can be made a lot better if exchanges support deposits and withdrawals from layer 2 so that you don't have to like withdraw to layer 1, then move up to layer 2 and pay that cost. And this is definitely a step in the right direction. So this won't be here till the summer, but I think this would be awesome. I think it'd be a big step forward because that way, if consumers can just download a mobile app, do everything inside the app, they're not worried about sending stuff here. I was talking to somebody over the weekend who was kind of like getting into DeFi, and they were getting a little confused because, the user experience is kind of crazy. You send funds to like a MetaMask wallet on your phone, and then you try to add the token to your wallet. You don't know how to do that. Like once you bought it, it's kind of crazy. But if we streamline all that inside of a single app, make the gas fees really cheap, all that kind of stuff, I think it's big. Make it easier for users to add funds from their bank account. It's big. Somebody says ETH is losing. With no support from that statement. ETH price prediction in 2021. So you can go to my YouTube homepage and find my video where I analyzed Raoul Paul's price prediction. So I kind of tell you what I think about that. You can go check out that video. Somebody says Coinbase Wallet already does. I'm assuming they're talking about supporting layer 2. You might be right. I think I did see that. So I don't have any official ETH price predictions for everyone who's asking. Did I only invest in ETH or do I consider other alts too? Yes, I have other things. ETH is mostly what I have though. Oh, it's a good question. Somebody says, what are the gas fees? Like broker fees per transaction? Yeah, so gas fees are something that you have to pay anytime you do something on top of the blockchain, on top of Ethereum, for example. So pretty much all blockchains require users to pay something whenever they do an activity on it. It basically prevents spam on the network. And also you have to incentivize people to actually run the blockchain itself so they can get paid to do that. Like, so Bitcoin, we have miners. With Ethereum right now, today, currently we have miners. It will move over to validators whenever we go to ETH 2.0, whenever we transition to proof of stake. So the miners will get replaced by validators where they'll stake their cryptocurrency and earn a passive income reward. So anyways, those people have to get paid somehow. So they're paid two ways. One, through the subsidies that the blockchain itself creates whenever like new Bitcoin is mined or new ETH is mined, or in proof of stake, new ETH is issued. So they get paid that way. They also get paid by your transaction fee. So it's a two purpose thing. It pays the people helps pay the people who are running the blockchain, but also prevents you from like just doing unnecessary stuff on the blockchain. So yeah, you want there to be a reason why you're adding to the blockchain itself, because don't forget, anytime you make a transaction, anytime you call a function on a smart contract, you do a trade on Uniswap, you're writing to the permanent history of the blockchain, and you paying to do that prevents the spam. Because if you didn't pay to do that, think about all the bots you see here on YouTube, like down in the comment section below, all the scam bots that are like impersonating me, saying like, cryptocurrency is a great investment. Here's my phone number. Invest with me. They're all just like scammers, liars. People do that at scale, right? They write these programs that like just spam all over YouTube. Anybody who ever talks about cryptocurrency, they spam all over the channels impersonating them. Think about all the spam emails you ever got, especially in the early days of the internet. So if we didn't have gas fees on blockchain, like that would be a massive problem. Okay. So basically that's one of the big reasons gas fees are there in the first place, to prevent spam on the network. So they are per transaction. So anytime you make a transaction on the blockchain, anytime you send cryptocurrency around, anytime you interact with the Dapp, trade on Uniswap, you pay a transaction fee to do that. So some apps will also additionally have fees. And Uniswap has trading fees. They go to the liquidity providers that are part of the automated market maker. But in terms of the Ether fees, that's gas fees on the actual blockchain itself. When exactly, what day of March did gas fees go down? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see when our solutions actually ship for sure. So somebody's asking about the London hard fork. So I've been talking about it a lot on this channel. So EIP 1559, the change into how ETH fees work. So I'll talk about this a lot. I'll give you my quick summary. Basically, it's going to do a lot of things, but the primary thing is going to change how ETH is issued. So ETH, the long story short is ETH can become a deflationary asset at certain times and potentially by nature if there's enough sustained activity on the network. So the fees get split into two parts, the base fee and the minor tip. And EIP 1559, the base fee gets burnt. That's what causes that. You can think about that like being a network fee, so it helps people who hold ETH and makes ETH more scarce. Okay, that can slow the production of new ETH that comes into the market. It can cancel it out, or it can actually make it go negative, depending on how much activity is on the network. So this is scheduled for July. I think it's going to be big. It can have an impact on the price of Ether. Of course, not financial advice, but yeah, I expect it to be huge. It also does help with the ETH gas fees. Gives us an on-chain gas oracle to help with the craziness of the discrepancy that happens with gas prices whenever you make transactions. Yeah, lots of good stuff. So thoughts on Mana from Decentraland. So I've been inside Decentraland. I've played around with it. I don't own any Mana. I'm not saying I think it's a cool project. This is something I understand too. There's a lot of cool stuff out there in blockchain, but you know, chasing too many things is definitely a failing strategy, at least for me. So there's a lot of stuff that I think is cool, but don't use all the time / don't own any of. Mana's one of them. So for clarification, I think it's cool. I just don't have any. So will learning Solidity allow me to work with all other ER20, some of them mean ERC20 tokens. So yes, basically anything that's an ERC20 token is written in Solidity. If you learn, I mean, I think if that's your goal should be to code an ERC20 token step by step, like inside of Remix or something like that. You know, if you were going to build your own ERC20 token for production, I probably just advise you to use like a library or something like that, where you can just get it off the shelf and then customize it. But if you really want to learn how the tokens themselves work and you're new to the programming language, then I would build one from scratch, like step by step, function by function, line by line, because then you'll get an in-depth understanding of you need to learn the programming language first. That'll teach you the programming language, or at least like the important parts for you to know the basics. And then you'll learn how the tokens actually work. You'll get a much deeper understanding of it. And then you could create an advanced token, all that kind of stuff. But at first, I would just start with a simple ERC20 token. Yeah, somebody did say on Zero Hedge. So I'll pull that up too. I did see this as well. I wasn't able to verify everything. Sometimes stuff on Zero Hedge can be a little bit sketchy. But let's see here. So hedge fund CIO, Ethereum now races towards becoming the foundation of a new global financial system. So this is from Eric Peter, CIO of One River Asset Management, who in November executed a $600 million purchase of Bitcoin, then largest public transaction to date. Anyways, yeah, this is a lot of this is in response to the purchase of the Beeple collection. But we do have a quote in here. And Ethereum, despite almost no one understanding what it is, now races towards becoming the foundation of a re-architected global financial system. That's pretty crazy. It's a pretty strong statement. You might be right. We might be right. I've been talking about this a lot, on the channel. I think Ethereum is the future of a new financial system. Now, whether it replaces what we do currently in finance, or it just offers it as an alternative, that has a smaller market share. I mean, we're already there to some degree. DeFi there's billions and billions and billions and billions and billions of dollars floating around on DeFi, right? you know, it already has a ton of users who are crypto native. Okay, so we already have this alternative financial system with a lot of users with projects that are worth a lot of money. It's just a matter of time until that gets bigger, in my opinion. I don't see any reason why it wouldn't get bigger. Sure, might we see DeFi start to flow into other chains too? Yeah, I mean, I still think Ethereum's the leader. We don't have a strong reason to think that it won't be the leader. You know, for the short to midterm, probably also the long term. I mean, that's how it looks at this point in time. Like I said, that could always change. You know, I can change my mind based upon new things that happen in the future, but that's how it looks today. And if all that's true, then yeah. All right, everybody. That's all I got for today. As always, you know, smash that like button down below. Subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. That really helps these videos out so more people learn about blockchain. If you like these videos, you want the next step, or hey, maybe you want to take a massive shortcut entirely, I can show you how to become a blockchain master step by step, start to finish, over at dappuniversity.com/bootcamp. All right. You don't have to be an expert to get started today. I've helped people with zero coding experience become real world blockchain developers in a matter of months. All right. So that's all I've got. Until next time,